City, cults devoted to spiritualism, astrology, magic, and the occult flourish among the disciples of life reform. Of all the doctrines favored by the movement, none will be more influential than those preached by the Russian adventuress and telepath, Madame Helena Blavatsky. In 1888, Madame Blavatsky claimed to have traveled to Tibet, and there to have been initiated into the secrets of spiritual masters she calls the hidden elect. In the doctrines of occultists, the hidden elect, or the Great White Brotherhood, are believed to be humans who, by initiation and self-denial, have risen to become adepts. They have gained powers and knowledge beyond those of ordinary mortals. In Britain, Aleister Crowley, a magician of the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn, claimed in 1909 to have crossed the abyss and to have returned as an adept. Revealed to her, their chosen one, the occult history of the human race. Blavatsky did not claim to be an adept in her own right, but she did claim constant telepathic communication with her hidden masters. Communication with her hidden masters. They had revealed to her, their chosen one, the occult history of the human race. According to Madame Blavatsky, each round of the cosmic cycle has associated with it 7 root races. The first root race to evolve on Earth she calls the astral race. It was a race of pure spirit, the highest form of existence. The second race she calls the Hyperborean race. Its home was a now-vanished continent in the Northern Ocean. The third race was the Lemurians. Blavatsky is clear about the reason for the fall of the Lemurian race. It had interbred with animals. The fourth race in the history revealed to Madame Blavatsky is the race of Atlantis. The Atlanteans had possessed psychic powers and had constructed giant cities, using an energy source of mysterious origins. The Atlanteans were destroyed in a great flood. The fifth root race Madame Blavatsky sees as the race of hope. The race that had once founded the culture of ancient Greece and soon would return man to the pinnacle of spirituality. That race she named the Aryan. She named the Aryan. By 1914, Blavatsky's mystical doctrine of the destiny of Aryan man has spread throughout Germany and Austria. The opening days of the Great War. Blind soldiers of the imperial armies, the teachings of the Austrian clairvoyant Guido von List are an inspiration. List believes that in the Germans, more than in any other people, runs the blood of the mythical race called by Madame Blavatsky the Aryans. To List, the Great War is proof that the modern world, with its materialism and its democracy, is destroying itself. But to List, the Great War is proof that the modern world, with its materialism and its democracy, is destroying itself.
And we have to think about it as in they're taking some spirituality from the Aryans, which come to find out we are the original Aryans. And so if they taking it about war, if our fight can't be truly physical, is using the mind, we have to use the principles they're using, but not in a physical form, more of in the mind, or when we're sleeping, we can usually get information and we can use it and manifest it through sex tantra. It's called, you can call it modern sex magic. I'm about to start reading this book on it, but you watch this now. We use that through war. So it's not just, you can use that sex or something spiritual too also, you can use. So if the physical war isn't there, we can use our war through sex tantra.
But out of war and destruction will come the victory of the German cause and the beginning of an Aryan millennium. Liszt revives the prayer of the 16th century philosopher and heretic Giordano Bruno. O Jove, let the Germans realize their own strength, and they shall not be men, but gods. O Jove, let the Germans realize their own strength, and they shall not be men, but gods. And they shall not be men, but gods. Like Aleister Crowley and Madame Blavatsky, Liszt's psychic researchers have led him to believe in the existence of a hidden elect. His visions of the ancient German tribes have revealed to him an elite class of priest rulers. Liszt calls it the Armand Shaft. The role of the Armand Shaft was to preserve the occult knowledge of the Germans' Aryan ancestors. Visions of the ancient German tribes have revealed to him an elite class of priest rulers. Liszt calls it the Armand Shaft. The role of the Armand Shaft was to preserve the occult knowledge of the Germans' Aryan ancestors. Of the ancient German tribes have revealed to him an elite class of priest rulers. Liszt calls it the Armand Shaft.
There's certain ones they are the elect, Armand Shafts. There's certain elect to preserve the information or the occult knowledge that we'll be obtaining. You go through certain things and you make it through things you like, how am I surviving through certain things? It's for a reason.
The Armand Shaft was to preserve the occult knowledge of the Germans' Aryan ancestors. Liszt claims that the imposition of Christianity on the Teutonic tribes and the persecution of the followers of the old religion forced the Armand Shaft to continue its traditions in secret. Their law had lived on in the rituals and symbols of a network of secret societies. The store of occult knowledge had been preserved down the centuries by Freemasons, Rosicrucians, and chivalrous orders such as the Knights Templar. So great is Liszt's influence among German and German-Austrian nationalists that many army officers have joined the secret occultist organization inspired by his teachings. The German Order, founded in May 1912, has lodges in 10 German cities. The government of the order is by a secret 12-man council of initiates, calling itself the Armist Assembly. The Armist Assembly.
To me, it's looking like a demonstration of things we can do in the future, in the further time. Well, we are in the future now, but what we can do with the certain elect few, if we know how to really end this thing or make it come to an end a lot faster. By seeing this is what your mind is like capable of. Legions of demons, high and low key demons we can use.
The future Aryan Empire will, according to Liszt, be governed by a similar council of initiates, a new Armand Shaft. In the design of the future SS, Liszt's Armist Assembly will not be forgotten. Liszt's prediction that the Great War would see the victory of Imperial Germany over its democratic and degenerate enemies will not be fulfilled. By 1918, in Britain, the family planning movement, led by the scientist Marie Stopes, is preoccupied with the supposed threat to the health of the race posed by uncontrolled breeding. Marie Stopes' work on birth control,
joyous and deliberate motherhood, a sure light in our racial darkness. Crazy.
First published in 1918, is dedicated to all those who wish to see our race grow in strength and beauty. Stopes is concerned with the tendency revealed by the national census for the lower classes to produce more children than the upper classes. The numbers of our population, she states, increasingly tend to be made up from the less thrifty and the less conscientious. In America, the compulsory sterilization of the mentally handicapped, of alcoholics, and of persistent criminals has been legal in certain states since 1907. The family planning movement is part of a broader movement aimed at directing and accelerating the evolution of the human race by selective breeding. This new science calls itself eugenics. By 1918, eugenics has become so influential that the British Medical Journal publishes an article in which a noted physician can write, "There is no equality in nature among children nor among adults." Theozoology is an occult religion of race. Inspired by Madame Blavatsky's mystical history of racial evolution, Lance claims that the decline of the Aryans occurred because they had committed bestiality with a subhuman species. The result was the creation of many mixed races, races whose very existence threatens the rightful dominance of the Aryans. Claims that the decline of the Aryans occurred because they had committed bestiality with a subhuman species. The result was the creation of many mixed races, races whose very existence threatens the rightful dominance of the Aryans. Lance believed that the early Aryans possessed the power of telepathy. Interbreeding with racial inferiors had led to the loss of their paranormal abilities. "Why do you seek a hell in the next world?" Lance asks. "Is not the hell in which we live and which burns inside us sufficiently dreadful?" To Lance, the hell which burns inside is the impure blood in the veins of even the purest of Aryans. The teachings of Jörg Lance are propagated throughout Germany and Austria by his own journal, Astara, founded in 1905. He proposes polygamy to increase the birth rate of the racially purest. Eugenic convents are to be established, in which chosen women he calls brood mothers will produce children for pure-blooded Aryan males. While the racially impure and the physically or mentally unfit are to be sterilized, other races deemed inferior are to be deported to Madagascar or used as slave labor. The deportation of German Jews to Madagascar will be discussed in the upper echelons of the party. To Jörg Lance, the legends of the Knights of the Holy Grail are more than the products of the medieval imagination. Lance believed that they were the Knights Templar, founded in the 12th century and famed for their part in the Christian Crusades. Lance believed that the Crusades were an attempt to hold back the inferior races of the East. The Holy Grail was an electrical force representing the psychic powers of the pure-blooded Aryans. In the college fencing fraternity to which Himmler belonged, Jörg Lance's occultist periodical Astara was widely read. Of all the prophecies made by Lance, one would become Himmler's obsession. On astrological grounds, Lance foretold the invasion of Europe from the east. Himmler comes to believe that it is the destiny of the SS to repel the coming assault. The great battles he foresees will be a prelude to the final victory of the Aryans.